Hello, Mark the Stampin' by Hannah. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me for a Christmas countdown project. This is a fabulous, simple Christmas card using the gorgeous Christmas Pines stamp and die bundle. I am loving this. It's fabulous. In particular, loving this sentiment, which I'm not using on this card actually, but I love that it's so pretty. There's some fabulous sentiments and coordinating stamps and dies in that bundle, and I love it. This one also has some designer series paper on it, and I believe it's called Warmth and Cheer. I will have to check. The products will be in the down bar below. So really simple, and I've actually cheated a little bit because I've already done all the die cutting, because nobody needs to sit and watch me die cut for hours and hours on end. So I've got a crumb cake card base. I'm really sorry, my camera's playing silly buggers today, it really is. So I'm going to adhere my piece of designer series paper underneath that piece of Whisper White, so the gap is about the same-ish all the way round. And then I'm going to grab my stamps. I've got Christmas Blessings and I've got some crumb cake ink. And the reason that I've adhered normally I wouldn't adhere it first, but I'm going to put my big girl pants on. And I've already stuck it all down, and the reason for that is because I know exactly where that sentiment needs to go. If I stamped and then stuck things down, I'm at risk of this piece of designer series paper being too tall, the gap being too big, etc, etc. Oh, well, I've got my crumb cake out. I'm also going to stamp onto my pine cone. I've die cut this out already, and then I've grabbed one of the coordinating stamps, and I have a fabulous top tip for you here, because I discovered this the other day. Trying to line up a pre-cut, a stamp with a pre-cut die can be a bit tricky when you're stamping onto grid paper. And to be fair, this doesn't work quite so well because it's crumb cake, but if you're trying to stamp onto a piece of Whisper White, this works really well. Silicon matte, which is absolutely my saviour, my stamping saviour. And then you can see exactly where your die is, because it's a contrast colour. With it being crumb cake, if I used a piece of basic black or something like a really bright yellow, like crushed curry, it would also do the same, because you've got that contrast there, which is fabulous and makes stamping really easy. So I have pre-cut some of the pine leaves, but one of the medium and two of the small. And I've also die cut, how gorgeous is this? This is from our copper foil paper, another one of the intricate pine cones. And we're going to adhere it all together. I've got the copper metallic thread. I'm going to unwind a length. I am not being exact with this, it is a length. I use a piece of washi tape stuck on the top of mine to hold it in place, otherwise it has a habit of all unravelling off the roll, and you really don't want that, because it is an absolute nightmare to get back on again. So I'm going to wrap the length of my thread around my fingers, and I'm going to pop a little bit of fast fuse onto my piece of Whisper White card, and I'm just going to make sure the ends are in it. I don't mind that it's unravelled a little bit, and I don't mind that I like the messy look when it comes to this stuff, but not when it's hanging off the edge. So that's that. Then I'm going to adhere my pine leaves next, and I'm going to use my the fine tip glue for this, and I'm only putting glue, my silicone matte back so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put glue about a third of the way down, and I mean, you could put glue, you could put it all the way along. I don't tend to, just because I like the fact that then I've got some movement. So glue on, and the fine tip glue, once you've got the hang of it, and I will admit it does take a little bit of practice because it is quite a bit runnier than I was expecting. But I think I've got there now, with practice and perseverance. The reason I use the fine tip glue is because I've got that bit more control. Because you've got that metal tip and the pin, it doesn't get clogged, which is fabulous. So I do actually still need some more of that though, because I'm going to put fine tip glue on the back of my pine cone, my delicate pine cone. And I'm only going to put it on one side and just on a few, because it's very sticky, and it's only a tiny weeny little die cut, so it's not going to take a lot of glue. So pop that on there and give that a second to dry. And I'm going to pop this onto the front of my card using dimensionals. I've got a brand new sheet. That's exciting when you get, that's the sign of a true Stampin' Up addict, is when you get excited about opening a packet of dimensionals. And the sign the sign of having a Stampin' Up demonstrator in your house is when you sit on the sofa with your husband on an evening and discover that he's got one of these attached to his head. He's been out all day, and I haven't been in the lounge with dimensionals, but that's what happens in my house. Does it happen to anybody else? Find them all over. So I'm going to adhere that to the front of our card. And then I just want one more dimensional on the back of the solid pine cone, like that. I'm going to adhere that on the front there, and that is my quick and easy Christmas countdown card using the fabulous Christmas Pines bundle. As always, the link is available in the down bar below to my blog, where you've got all the measurements and where you can also find links to all the products. If you don't shop, I can't make these videos, so if you'll be ever so kind to choose me as your Stampin' Up demonstrator, I will love you forever. Anybody that shops with me always gets at least a handmade card as a gift. If you use my hostess code, my Code Club code, you will also receive some fabulous free products. Go and check out the sale that I've got going on at the moment, and I'll see you again really soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.